Yes, that thing was me. And hold up, don't just leave it over yet. There's still more. That picture comes from my 8th grade yearbook. It's quite nice, right? This was from 4 years ago. Fast forward 4 years later, now we got this damn thing. So today is June 11th of 2020. My graduation. Usually around this time, you would expect me for my own graduation to be nicely dressed in my, graduation robes with all my friends and family, and your classic giant ceremony with that epic graduation score playing in the background, getting your diploma. Should be exciting. But instead, I'm here. Same place I've been for the last 4 months. This is my big celebration. And honestly, it's funny because the last time I did a video like this talking about what's going on in my life and especially around the world right now, it was spreading that they were planning to shut down the school, and 2 days later school was out. It was supposed to be 3 weeks, I still remember. I'm quite sure that's still the official email I have to this day. 3 weeks. We would have been back in school by beginning of April. I'm still here. When are we going back? I'm waiting. Come on. And it truly has been a roller coaster of emotions. And especially now, I feel like I'm finally hitting that final hill. And it still feels a bit underwhelming, but now overwhelming at the same time. And I feel like now I want to have almost a look back and then possibly deliver something to you guys as my official graduation speech. So join me in this journey. Still always laugh looking back when my teacher was just like, oh, it's just a flu. Even though he was admittedly still trying to be cautious, he was just like, it's just like the flu. People overreacting. Some people are already starting to claim conspiracy that early. It's a week and a half later. Plans were going around and word was spreading that they were planning to shut down the school. And 2 days later, school was out. Didn't even mention the fact that my father pretty much just lost his job and became unemployed, with the fact that since he's a salesman and you kind of gotta fucking go outside to sell shit, it was practically impossible now, 0 to nothing. It was pretty much my mom on her own against the whole world right now just to keep us going and keep the family up. So the worst feeling I had during all of it was the fact that all I could do was just watch. Just sit there and watch and feel like you can't do anything about it, for me, is the worst feeling imaginable. So to see my family in panic, see my father just pretty much almost near depressed every day, thinking he can't do much and just sitting on the couch, was the most miserable thing to watch. I really have never realized how important social interaction is, and to have friends and family. To not be able to talk to one person at least every day can drive someone nuts. It's crazy. It's nerve-wracking. Because when you're indoors all day and you're just doing nothing, especially someone that supposedly wants to do something like try to entertain as many people as they can, it feels just, it's so stressful, it's so frustrating. It was the worst feeling I ever had. Something that I never thought would even affected me, but here I am. Hope was coming, and hope came in a very beautiful way. And it was the idea that my father and I came to realize, food banks were opening up all across the country. We noticed that in Burbank, there were people driving all the way up there just to hit up the local churches for food banks constantly on a daily basis. Came to the idea and realized, why don't we help feed our neighbors? Because we didn't think about for a second that if we were going through this already, the fact that my mother still had her job, so we were still technically okay. Imagine everybody else right now that pretty much is out of work and just stuck in home, stressed out the whole day. It must be miserable, and especially not to add salt to the wound that they probably didn't have food. So my father and I realized we had a chance to do something. So we took action. We went to the food banks every fucking week imaginable. Sometimes even 2 to 3 times a week. Just to get every meal bag we can, every box of food, start distributing it all around our little neighborhood, out to every neighbor in need, all the elderly around. Anybody that needed it, we had it. And that was the first 3 weeks after the first month of pandemic. So that was the end of the period that I would call my lazy month. Then came the realization that I had let something pretty huge for me. Slipped my mind completely. School is still going on. I forgot there were still those Zoom meetings that everybody's talking about and memeing about online every fucking day, and I realized I should be in those. And I was working my ass off again, doing all the late assignments that I owed, which admittedly wasn't much. It was kind of the funny part. I realized that it was just 2 or 3 things I still owed. So that really just got fixed in about the span of a week. But I was doing everything once again. I was back on my YouTube game for that very reason. If you guys noticed, there was that short period that I was uploading a little more videos than usual. That's why. This is where I do my videos all the time. Let's get to work. I was doing videos every other day I can. I was getting all the footage I can, going to all my friends, say, hey, what's up, let's play some games. Got some footage, had our last, reviewed a movie after something I watched the other night. I was on my grind to do something. I don't just feel like I was waking up anymore to do nothing and stare at a wall all day. It felt incredible. And then now I'm finally job hunting again. I'm looking to see what I want to do in the meantime during summer vacation. And now with graduation finally coming, I've been able to see my friends again. I've been able to see some family again. We've been able to celebrate. It's the reason I got this cap. And I've been finally starting to see again these last few weeks, even if I've been still struggling with it, why this meant so much to me. And I'm truly glad that I reminded myself to think about during this graduation and during this big moment in our lives is, what do you want to do and how are you going to do it? You don't have to do something big. I don't want people to feel that pressure either, because yeah, there's many people that just simply want to live the simple, peaceful life. Get a nice 9-to-5 job, find their love of their life, grow up, have a family, simple. You can do that too, but just think about how you're going to do it. Have a plan. Because in this world, until we finally find that perfect world and solve all our world's problems, where we get rid of the assholes and the greedy and the selfish, we're going to have to deal with a lot of ridiculous problems. So you always got to be ready to keep your dreams strong, no matter what's thrown at them. But most importantly right now, celebrate. Be proud. We just finished our first chapter in our lives. I'm no longer a kid. Officially today, I'm an adult. I'm going to pay taxes soon. I'm really optimistic for the future. I know a lot of people aren't feeling that now, because with everything that's happening. But people are fighting for a better world. Last time I ever read anything like that in the history books was in the 1960s with civil rights, when I didn't even have the right to go to fucking school, man. And people, despite all that fear and all that bigotry and all that, went there and fought to simply have the right to have your future, to decide for what you want to do something. And now look what I get to do because of it. Things can seem small, but they can do big things for yourselves or for others, even if you never live to see it. Always remember that. So 4 years ago, I was a weird, creepy, ugly nerd. And now, and 4 years later, I'm still an ugly nerd. Just not fully grown, with a graduation cap and graduation gown to show it. Congratulations to Class of 2020. The world is ours now. Let's see what we can do with it. I don't know why I thought that was going to go farther.